Alright, so what we're going to talk about in this video is the remainder theorem. Now, the remainder theorem comes from the idea of dividing polynomials, okay? And it's actually quite a simple theorem. And it's, despite its simplicity, it's actually really handy. So, let's actually explain what the remainder theorem is. So, suppose that you have a polynomial, such as p of x. Let's say p of x is equal to x cubed plus 3x squared plus 4x plus, 6. Okay? And let's say that this 6, we're going to focus on this 6. Then the remainder after division of p of x by x minus the constant term is the value of the polynomial of that constant term. So let's say we're going to divide it. So divide by let's say x minus 4. Okay, then the remainder is p of 4. Okay, so if I substitute 4 into this, which is this second 4 here, like that's that 4 there. So basically I'm saying if you want to divide it by this, then the remainder is just the polynomial of that value at 4. So if I substitute 4 in, okay, if I was to do the long division and substitute it in, it would give me the exact remainder. And that's really bloody handy because it's, like a 30-second approach opposed to a 40-minute approach of actually dividing the polynomials. And of course, what we're going to do is we're actually going to divide the polynomial first. So let's have a go at this one, which is find the remainder when 2x squared minus 5x minus 1 is divided by x minus 3 by long division and then by the remainder theorem, okay? So by long division, essentially what we're going to do is we're going to go, okay, we've got our x minus 3 on the inside like this, and we're going to do 2x squared minus 5x minus 1, okay, like that. Okay, so remembering from our last video, the way that we divide this is we start off by saying 2x squared divided by x, which is that leading term on the outside. So 2x squared divided by x is just equal to 2x. And now we're going to multiply that 2x by this and then by this and write it underneath. So 2x times x is 2x squared. 2x times negative 3 is negative 6x. And then what we do is we're going to subtract these two from each other and rewrite the new polynomial that we're going to divide underneath. So 2x squared minus 2x squared is equal to 0. Minus 5x minus 6x is equal to x, just an x, and then we've got the minus 1 that falls straight down between. So because remember there is technically a 0 here, minus 1 take away 0 is just equal to minus 1. Now we're going to do x divided by x. Well, x divided by x, that's just equal to 0. That's nice and easy. So plus 0. Sorry, not 0, plus 1. Ooh. A few issues if we had equal to 0, so plus 1. So x divided by x is 1. Then we do 1 times x, which is equal to x, and then 1 times negative 3, which is equal to negative 3. Okay? Quite simple. We're going to then subtract these two from each other. So x take away x is equal to 0, minus 1 take away 3, sorry, take away negative 3 is equal to 2. Okay? And that 2 there, that's our remainder. So therefore, the remainder is 2. So that's part A. So by doing the long division, we've ended up with the remainder because it can't divide into the x. Okay, so that just leaves us with our remainder there. Now for part B, if we're going to do it by the remainder theorem, okay, so that is that we're going to substitute this 3 here, so just the 3 here, into this polynomial here, and whatever that does, it should tell us what the remainder theorem is, and it should give us 2, which is what we worked out in that bit there. So if p of x is equal to, and I'm going to write this one out again, 2x squared minus 5x minus 1, then at p of 3, we're going to get 2 lots of 3 squared minus 5 lots of 2 minus 1, okay? So working this bit out, 3 squared is equal to 9 times that by 2 is equal to 18. 18 minus 10 minus 1. And that gives us something that doesn't actually give us the value. What the... Oh, because I put 2 in and not 3. Duh. Okay, let me try that again. Okay, 5 lots of 3 minus 1, which is 15 minus 1, which is equal to 2. And there we go. That gives us the answer that we want. So that's pretty much the remainder theorem in a nutshell. Basically, whatever you're dividing it by, the remainder of the original polynomial is just the value of the polynomial of that second number there. Now, that only works with those linear factors, okay? And this is exactly why I talked about in the language of polynomial video, why we're so concerned about the linear factors, okay? So that number on the end tells us what it's going to be, okay? And then that gives us our value of our remainder right there. So that's it. In our next video, we're going to be talking about the factor theorem and just a couple of questions on that.